Hey guys, it's been a little while since you've seen me do a video of any sort. I apologize for that. My camera actually was undergoing some problems there for a little while, but everything seems to be back in order and back on track. So I wanted to post some comments regarding the most recent WWE pay-per-view, which was Night of Champions. Some people really were kind of, wavering about this pay-per-view. But I actually really liked it. I think it was a very, very strong pay-per-view, in fact, for the WWE. There was a lot of good matchups, there was a lot of good results, and there was a lot of promising aspects that will lead to the future. But I'm not here to talk 100% about that. I kind of want to talk more about what it all means. Now, at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, it was revealed that Chris Jericho's tag team partner was going to be the Big Show. This is something that a lot of people were a little bit perplexed by, a little bit vexed by. A lot of people were expecting it to be either Dolph Ziggler or potentially Chris Masters, who made his return one day later on Monday Night Raw. Now, the thing is that this is actually a fairly good decision by the WWE, and if you really want to say it, by Chris Jericho, in order to choose the Big Show as his tag team partner. As you know, of course, Jericho was highly critical of his former partner Edge's and proneness to injury, and just how simply it seemed for Edge to go from being one half of the unified tag team champions to being on the shelf. Now, with the Big Show, we've not really seen the same types of injury problems. He is, of course, a huge force, and it is what you could really call a dominant choice, simply because you have Jericho, who is an extremely intelligent and an extremely resourceful wrestler, and now has the muscle on his side of the Big Show, who can go in and easily dominate a matchup and dominate the opponents. So you really got to like the choice. Even though it really seems as though perhaps there are better wrestlers out there, better people who could maybe suit Jericho's caliber of performance, the Big Show kind of provides the brawn behind the brains, so to speak. And of course, they're really trying to build the Big Show to kind of be this physically dominating character. And of course, with Jericho being both mentally and very technically sound, this really has all the potential of being one of those super team type scenarios. So you really got to like that. And they were able to successfully defend against Legacy. An interesting part about the whole Legacy angle is that they seemed not at all wavered by the fact that they had lost the tag team championships to this team. And in my opinion, rightfully so. Even though Legacy has been one of these teams kind of on a mission in order to win those titles, they really did a good job in establishing the fact that Legacy's most important aspect is to keep that world title, to keep that power around Randy Orton's waist, which they were also able to do at Night of Champions. And what this was able to accomplish is it was able to show that Legacy is a much stronger group than has been put on in the past couple of months. Because really, in the past couple of months, a lot of people have been complaining that Legacy has been seen as exceptionally weak. And I'm, in fact, one of the people that have highly criticized this in the past couple of months. Now, to be honest, the fact that they have really taken this direction and they seem more of a unified force than they were before is definitely a sign that this is an angle that is going places finally, and they're finally, the writers in the back, the people who have the creative control, are finally letting this angle go to its scheduled potential. Now, of course, tomorrow on Raw, we have Triple H taking on the Tag Team Legacy, and of course, we have John Cena taking on Randy Orton at the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam. This, to me, accomplishes a number of things. For one, it shows that Triple H is willing to kind of take a back seat, and really, while he's still maintaining focus on the Legacy group, he's not necessarily in that main event title fight. He's going up against the other members of the group, trying to, as he said, cut the tail off of the dog. And regardless to really what the result is tomorrow night, this is a nice, welcome change of pace. This is something that really can be really enjoyed, something that can be really seen as a good thing, and you really just have to like the fact that Triple H is willing to let this angle work as well, instead of focusing on becoming a 14-time world champion. Now, of course, at Night of Champions, we also saw Jeff Hardy capture his third world championship. Now, some people are going to think that perhaps this is all an effort to get him to stay with the company. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. If he holds the title past SummerSlam, look for him to be booked in cards throughout the remainder of the year, barring the chance that he were to become injured in any way. A lot of people have been spilling stories that he wants some time off, and that may be true, and it's extremely relevant. Jeff Hardy is a man that works very, very hard, and he does take a lot of high risks on a weekly basis, even if some of us internet shooters find his unique array of offense to be somewhat predictable. You can't always take predictability into account because, let's face it, at the height of the popularity that Jeff Hardy currently has, he really has to cater to the crowd a little bit and do these certain moves because this is what really gets him very, very over. He's not someone who is particularly strong on the mic, though they are giving him numerous opportunities to interact with CM Punk and to interact with now John Morrison, who has entered the picture and into the mix. And really, I think that the matchup that Jeff Hardy and John Morrison had on Friday Night SmackDown was fantastic. This shows to me that John Morrison, who is someone that Rob the Many and I on the Delinquents Wrestling broadcast over on YouTube at Delinquents Wrestling, this is really John Morrison proving to himself that he is ready to be at the main event forefront. He is ready to be a force to be reckoned with. Now, of course, this sort of face versus face rivalry is not something that we are going to see in the imminent future. It really makes a little bit more sense for John Morrison to go up against, say, CM Punk or somebody else who is a heel that captures the title, given John Morrison's current character position. However, what it does show is that John Morrison is ready to take the step. He is able to perform exceptionally well, not to mention he has become electric on the microphone. He is somebody who will use his character to its complete advantage, and ever since he has made the move to SmackDown, he has really, really prospered. This is one of the best moves that the WWE has made this year, if not the best move. So that goes without saying that John Morrison, right now, you can count him as a main eventer, because really right now, with both the World Champion and the Intercontinental Champion being faces in Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio, you can't really see John Morrison going up against either of them and really being successful. We, of course, have Dolph Ziggler going up against Rey Mysterio Jr., and who I think, if he continues to have these very good matchups, because I think that the matchup that they had at Night of Champions was very, very good. It was a very good big title match debut for Dolph Ziggler. I think that he is going to be the man that they will eventually give the Intercontinental title to. I mean, yes, he is very, very young, but he does have the opportunity to go places with this title. And it also opens the door to potentially give it back to Morrison if they decide not to go headlong with this main event status. And with Jeff Hardy going up against CM Punk, there's still a lot of ways that they can go with this. There are still a number of matchup options that they have. Really, the sky's the limit for the SmackDown rivalries right now. Well, anyways, guys, those are a couple of the items that I have regarding the Night of Champions pay-per-view, not to mention the results afterwards. I think it's a very, very positive step for the WWE. And I gotta admit, I loved Shaq on Raw. I really did. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was tons better than ZZ Top. I only hope that some of the people that they get here in the future kind of take a little bit of a example from Shaq and try to interact with the crowd a lot more. Try to be a little bit more of a character that's willing to embrace the crowd, not to mention also be a part of this. So thanks again for watching, guys. Thanks for kind of bearing with me while I had this slight problem. And I will be making more videos here in the upcoming future. Not to mention, welcome back, Spinnernet. Glad to see you back, man. Really glad to see you back. Take care, guys.